What's up, y'all? It's Nate Almighty, aka the Global Dark Skin Ambassador, and let's talk about Kayflock. Now, we all know Kayflock been locked up for about a year and a half. I believe he may be locked up in either Manhattan or Brooklyn right now. I know the title says Rikers Island. People are gonna go in the comments and say he's not in Rikers Island, but the point of this video is I want to explain that Kayflock is now going through and suffering what I like to call prison fatigue. And what I call prison fatigue is when you first go to prison, if you're somebody who you got money in your accounts, people love you from the outside, you go in there, you lit, you don't got to be subjugated to the same kind of oppression and violence and ridicule as a lot of other guys. What happens is you settle in to your bed early on. You don't want to go home, but you know you fighting the case, but you're enjoying your time being locked up as much as you can, despite the fact that you're locked up. It's like when in Rome, you gotta do as the Romans do. You in there, they not gonna let you out just because you want to go out, so you just gotta deal with it. And you gotta find your fun in extorting weaker people or receiving the benefits that come with being a celebrity in jail. Maybe there's a female CO you get to smash. Maybe it's easier for you to get the kind of drugs that you want because you can afford it, little things like that. But then you get to a point where you're over a year in and you still find your case and the money slows up a little bit. Within a year or so, you find out that the chick or chicks that you thought was gonna hold you down and be loyal to you, they acting up. They dressing real provocatively, real scantily clad in the streets. You finding out that some of these chicks is starting to talk to other people. Sometimes they starting to talk to your enemies. Sometimes they talking to dudes who you associated with and called your friends / brothers, and those people become your enemy. You may have to deal with your mother being sick, your mother having some kind of money problems, maybe your kids. All of these things add up to what I call prison fatigue. So when you got Kayflock talking about he's, a little depressed and he feels alone, but it's all right. This is really what goes on when you locked up. And this is a situation that Kayflock put himself in, and he has to deal with it because he made the choices that landed him where he is. And then when you think about it, he's liable to spend the rest of his life in jail. And this is only the beginning. When we're talking about a life, it is New York. So instead of giving you life, usually they might try to give you life or 40 to life or something if you blow trial. But in New York, for murder, you might be able to cop out to 25, 35, something in that range. But that's still a long time. So you get mentally fatigued and drained when you see that the money's slowing up. Because even though he's still getting money off of I Assume Be YouTube, he's not. First of all, he's already in debt in the red with the label that signed him. So on top of that, the money's slowing up. There's no way that you could tell me that the label that he signed to, which I believe is Capital, I think, but the label that he signed to has any kind of concern for him anymore. He's been locked up for over a year. This isn't an easy case to beat. There's a lot of nuances and intricacies that got to do with this brother's case. And this is something that he's gonna have to deal with. And this is the time where people begin to sit down and they contemplate the bad decisions that they made, because Kayflock definitely made a lot of bad decisions that got him in this place. And this is what all the younger guys are dealing with in the Bronx, New York. It's really real like this. Summertime just started. And I know for sure, unfortunately, that by the end of the summer, I'm going to hear about a couple shootouts that happen around the block. I come from Cortland, by the way. Unfortunately, I'm going to hear about kids who I watched grow up. They might have got shot, might have died, or they locked up for shooting somebody else, killing somebody else. It's really, really, really nasty work out here, And me, I got 2 kids, 11 and 10 years old. My oldest son with his mother, they right smack dab in the middle of it. They literally in the trenches. Anything could happen. A shootout could break out. One of them could catch a stray bullet, you know what I'm saying, ricochet. Any of these kind of situations could happen. And the young brother K-Flock, this is a situation where if he's a rat, or if there's anything for him to snitch on, anybody for him to snitch on in order to get less time, this is the time where if there's any bit of rat in him, where he's gonna start contemplating how he could get home and who he gotta F over to get home. This is the time where if you're not K-Flock, but if you're dealing with a similar situation, and you're looking at some time and you've been locked up over a year already, this is when it starts settling in that you're gonna be here for a while. And if you have any ounce of rat in you, this is when the rat in you is gonna rear its ugly, fugly head, you know? And I feel sorry for K-Flock because this is somebody who he had the potential to really leave the hood, get his mother out the hood, you know what I'm saying? Really make millions of dollars. He didn't even have a chance to get beyond being 100,000 there before he got locked up. And now he's locked up. He might have missed his opportunity to amass as much money as possible, and his mother and family is still in the hood. And I know, because the age he is now, I was in Rikers Island, getting in trouble, going to the box, getting jumping people, you know what I'm saying? I know at this point in time, he's contemplating the mistakes he made. I know he's regretting a lot of the decisions that he made, that he got himself into. But he's gonna have to stand on that business now. You know what I'm saying? It's still alleged or whether he took the life of this Trinitario guy or not. You know, he hasn't went on the stand and admitted to doing anything. He hasn't copped a plea to anything. But you gotta sit there, you gotta deal with what might be going on with your mother, your family. You gotta potentially deal with whatever girl or girls you have being disloyal to you, not showing you the same type of attention no more, not pulling up to them visits on the dance floor as often as they used to, not putting that bread on them books as often as they used to. And then on top of that, you gotta deal with the many beefs that you could possibly have to deal with while you're doing your bid and while you're moving around and shaking. You gotta worry about the Trinitarios, you gotta worry about Cribs, you gotta worry about, you know what I'm saying, whatever other independent gang was formed in the Bronx or Harlem that you might have beef with. It's a whole lot this young brother got to deal with, you know? My advice for him is do push-ups, continue to get your weight up, make sure you keep a weapon by you at all times, and you really just got to sit there. Read, go to a little library, enrich your mind, you know? They trapped your body, but allow your mind to be able to travel outside of yourself. And accept that you as a young man, you got yourself into this predicament. If they offer you the opportunity to tell on anybody, don't do it. Don't bite the cheese, man. Peace.